G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's a horrible weekend really. Heaps of wind, there's been heaps of rain, the viz is really poor, but luckily this video is about last weekend. So last weekend everything was right, the forecast was really good and it had been fine and everything, so we got a crew together and we hopped on the boat. Look at this, we're out on the water. Sam's here. Danny, Aaron, and yeah, little dive mission, pretty much the last day of autumn, so while the water's still not freezing cold we're going to make the most of it, see if we can load up the bin with a few fish. Sam was the first on the board with a nice kingfish. Alright, everyone else is in the water and I've just heard the call, second shot, so they must be onto something. We'll just head over and see what they've got.
Oh, oh look, oh, he's full of.
Oh yeah, God, that's a pilly. Alright, one on the board. Then it was mine and Aaron's turn to get into some fish. And we both scored a few fat, tasty pink mau mau. Yeah, it's a good spot for them, eh? This is awesome. He's got one. No, Sam will bring me another one. Hey Sam! I've just broken my shooting line. Sorry? Yeah, I think that pinky had me in the reef. Thank you. We dived another couple of spots and they were pretty quiet. Sam did manage to bag this nice snapper though.
Little bit of snapper dive bobbing, just missed it all on film, but dropped this coey burley down and we had like, what, 8 or 10 like good size snapper, this size, one probably 18 pound, which he just ducked in and out pretty quick. But
yeah, he grabbed the burley.
Pretty good, you can see where I've hit him down. It came out like the butthole.
Sam's been plundering buttholes again. He also took the opportunity to leave this little message for you guys on my camera.
Yeah, g'day. This would be a great time to tell you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channels OXS Enterprises and OXS TV for more great content.
By this stage, we'd dived 4 spots and it was mid-afternoon. We decided to dive one more spot. It wasn't long before I started to see a few fish. And after having a shot and missing one, I managed to sneak over the ledge and get the shaft into this guy. With that fish on the stringer, I was feeling a bit happier. But a very short time later, I came over a rise, and there just off in the distance I could see a really big snapper. I frantically backed up to try and get out of there without him seeing me, but he got onto me and he moved off. Knowing that I'd cooked it up, I carried on and I swam over where he'd been into another hollow. I looked down and there was a poor eye and I didn't think much of it. And so I turned the camera on and got ready to head over the next ledge. Once again I saw the poor eye and I thought, hang on a minute, I better check this basin and see if there's not any more fish. And sure enough, wouldn't you know it, right under me, here's this big snapper. So I frantically get the gun and get lined up onto him, and he becomes aware of me about the same time as I become aware of him. And so I know I haven't got much time, so I get a quick shot off. And yep, that's it. Low in the gut. Probably one of the worst places to get a fish. I let the gun go and I let the fish run. I'm hoping that if I can let him run, and knowing snapper usually go to ground when they're injured, he'll go to ground and then I might be able to dive down and grab him. So anyway, the snapper runs along, gets into the weed, and I dive down and I managed to get a grab on him. I head for the surface with the snapper in my arms, and I get about 3/4 of the way and can't go anymore. And then I realise that the shooting line, which is attached to my spear, is wrapped around the rocks. Not the greatest. Anyway, as I stop and I get ready to go back down, the spear pulls out of the snapper. That's alright because I've got a hold of it. So anyway, we go to the surface. Now at this point, I spend a bit of time with the snapper, working my hand into its gills and getting what I thought was a pretty good grip on its gills. It took me a while and I mucked around a bit and I wasn't really happy with it, but in the end I felt pretty confident that I had a good hold on it. So I dived back down with the snapper in my hand. And here's where things get interesting. Just as I got the spear free, the snapper gave a kick, got out of my hands, and swam off. Instead of chasing it down, I thought, no, it's just going to hole up in the weed. I'll go up the top and I'll breathe up a bit. So I went up to the top and I spent about 40-50 seconds on the surface just getting a breath. Bearing in mind I hadn't been down long the first time or either of the last two dives, so I wasn't oxygen depleted, but I just needed to calm down a little bit. Anyway, I watched where the snapper had gone into the weed and I dived back down, and as luck would have it, the snapper had just gone to ground and holed up and hadn't moved, and I managed to push it against a rock and get a hold on it again. Boy, to say that I was relieved would be a massive understatement. I was stoked because I really thought I'd lost the fish. Once I had the fish ickied, I looked over to the boat and I saw that everyone was back at the boat and they were probably waiting for me to hurry up and finish. So I held the snapper up to them and put it in the water and put it on the fish stringer. Once I got back to the boat, well, we got Sam a beauty.
How'd you do, sunshine?
Hey?
Is your snapper bigger than mine?
I don't know.
Whip them out, find out.
I haven't seen yours. I haven't seen any of your snapper.
Nah, I got one, a reasonable one too.
Hey?
I got a reasonable one. Bigger than this morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Here it goes.
What was it, 10 pound, 12 pound?
Oh, might be a bit more.
It looked alright.
Yeah, it might be a bit more. Might be 12. I'd say 12.
Mine's bigger. Oh, mine's way bigger.
Battle of the snappers.
Mine's bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
We'll keep pulling.
Oh, fucking what the fuck? Jeez. Oh, the old Q-flower stitcher.
I knew you'd do that. I knew you'd do that.
I thought it was bigger when you held it up, and then I looked at that and I was like, oh, where's the rest of it?
Oh, nice.
Smoked me, sunshine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bit bigger, but.
Alright, good fish.
Well, we're back at the ramp. Just divvying up all the fish. It's pandemonium here. Boats coming in, waiting. Pretty busy. It's been a pretty good day in the water, so I guess everyone's been out there making the most of it. So yeah, here's our bin load of fish. I've just got me 2 snapper and 3 pinkies and a couple of these bloody decent sized cowies. So yeah. Alright guys, that's all I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.